So we're coming up on the end of the year, the end of a year that I'm sure was a little bit of a mixed bag for a lot of us. One thing, though, is for sure. Metals prices are way up. So to the extent that you'd already caught that bug, well, congratulations. I don't know if this video is going to wrap the year here, but I'm looking at it like it might, because on Friday we just hit the upper end of what I thought would be reasonable for gold and silver prices in 2025. Gold just over $4,500, silver just shy of $80, and by reasonable, I don't mean that I expected it. I don't mean that anyone should have expected it. I mean that you could have at least made a real case for both of them. So one that wasn't based only on hype, only on hope. Don't get me wrong here, these numbers are still surprising and they're still historic. Gold started 2025 at $2,600 an ounce. Silver started 2025 at $29. So that puts gold up 74% year to date and silver up 173%. Now we're at the point of the run where we're constantly adjusting expectations, constantly adjusting what's reasonable, and it's all very exciting. It's also fundamentally changing the stacking game, both for silver and for gold. We're going to get into that further, but before we do, quick shout out to Summit Metals. If you're looking for gold and silver, they've got you covered. If you're looking to sell your gold and silver, they can help you there too. SummitMetals.com. Okay, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to compare gold and silver to Bitcoin performance. Now we know silver is up 173% year to date, gold is up 74%, and that seems more like the kind of return that you'd expect to find in crypto markets than in precious metals. You can see Bitcoin beat that in 2020. It had 2 additional big years, had a big loss in 2022. And of course, this year, 2025, we know it's down 6.3% year to date. Now, really, though, I don't know if that's dampened Bitcoin's appeal or not. Bitcoin has been called digital gold over and over. Some people, I guess, kind of believe that, but it's not how most people actually use it. The real story of Bitcoin has been its returns and its volatility. That's why investors primarily get involved in it. Now, gold and silver both have strong fundamentals, and I expect them both to continue to climb over time, but silver's behavior since April is starting to look more like Bitcoin than like gold. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't have intrinsic value. It does. It has real industrial demand and actual global supply concerns. But for all we hear about silver not rallying on one single story and how that makes this run different than 1980, well, the biggest story with silver at the moment is definitely its price. Now, I don't know if I need to explain that more or not, but this move in silver is not being driven by simple industrial demand alone. It's not EV adoption or solar applications that suddenly emerged since April. Those factors were already there. What changed was this risk of a global trade shortage combined with a sharp increase in trading activity. So that combination has changed how silver is being priced. It's less about fundamentals like industrial demand. It's more about the market itself, which means higher volatility. And that volatility is why more investors have started to approach silver a little bit like the way that they approach Bitcoin. Now, normally if you're stacking gold or silver, you're doing it systematically. You're buying a little bit at a time with a long-term horizon, and your goal is not to maximize annual gains. It's not to chase a total dollar value at any given moment. It's to accumulate ounces over time. But a 173% annual gain is going to change how people think about it. So will the 74% that gold just put up. It's the elephant in the room that people just can't ignore. I want to make 2 points. The first is about just how far we've come this year, because if this is meant as any kind of year-end wrap-up, well, wow, we've only seen one-time annual returns for both silver and gold were higher, and that was 1979. Without going into detail there, that was a completely different economic environment than we're seeing today. And by different, I mean worse. Today's rally is happening at the same time the S&P 500 and the Dow are also putting up record highs. The second part of this is just a reminder to be clear about what you're chasing, short-term goals or long-term accumulation, because they're different and they require different behavior. Short-term gains only materialize if you're willing to sell. And long-term accumulation only works if you're willing to hold. So problems start when you get those two tangled up. If you buy the way that you would to maximize short-term gains, but you never plan an exit, or you just buy in a way that's best suited for a long-term hold, thinking you can quickly get out. Now that's when people end up upside down or just out of position in what felt like a can't-lose situation. So thinking about this as a year-end wrap, this is not about a moonshot. It's not about some kind of warning that all of that could flip. We're just here to say that the stacking plan has worked out really, really well. It's been a really good year for it. At the beginning of 2025, if I put 20 Buffaloes on screen, they were worth just over $53,000. Now today, those same coins, they're worth $91,000. $90 in silver is now worth $240. And if silver keeps that up, I might be able to even recover the premium on these Gods of Olympus coins. So not a moonshot, but it is definitely proof the plan has worked. And the only real risk now would be to get so excited about how much has changed that we forget what got us here to begin with. And let's call it good there. Let us know how you did in 2025. Did you hit your goals? Running goals or otherwise. I know a lot of people hit theirs earlier than they were expecting, but they had to change the way they got there. And it's been one of those kinds of years. So let us know how it went for you. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit that like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you want to hear more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.